Welcome to the Waypoint, a short monthly dose of outdoor and adventure travel industry news and analysis from industry thought leaders who give us their real-time insights regarding trends impacting your business as the year progresses. We'll drop an outdoor Waypoint episode on the first Wednesday of each month, adventure travel on the second Wednesday of each month, product trends on the third Wednesday of each month, and we're trying to record live at a venue or campsite near you on the fourth Wednesday of each month. Hit us up if you'd like to host us or have an adventure we need to join. This episode of Waypoint from the Outdoor Biz Podcast is our monthly update on trends and analysis in the outdoor space. Today I'm speaking with Scott Oshman of the Cairn Company. Scott was one of the guests on our panel at the Outdoor Retailer Show and operates a sales and consulting agency in the Pacific Northwest. Today we talk about how the year is progressing, the health of retail, Amazon, and more. Hey Scott, good morning. How's it going? Welcome to the Waypoint episode by the Outdoor Biz Podcast.
Great. How are you, Rick?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Yeah, good to chat with you again. So this is the first Wednesday of the month. We're talking about the trending things going on in the outdoor industry, specifically related to business. But I know you're a Pacific Northwest guy. You follow Amazon and the whole general retail sector a lot. So if you have any other perspective on anything happening nationally or with other large retailers like Amazon and like Macy's and whoever, we'll get into that. But we're 2 months into 2018. Do you have any retail highlights you're hearing about that you want to reference, talk about?
Well, I think regionally up here in the Pacific Northwest, and this is also probably more, somewhat nationally, people are coming off with a very strong, pretty good holiday season. Mm-hmm. And then typically January actually is an opportunity month where you can kind of get some, business going and clear out some inventory and kind of a cleanup, but you also there's an opportunity there to get some decent sales. And then February is typically, and this is what we saw, was kind of the, exhale month or just kind of a little pause, a little breather. So very soft February as all the stores in the outdoor industry and others in lifestyle sporting goods are kind of transitioning now. Yep. And they're looking for spring, summer goods are coming in, resetting the floors. It's that shoulder season, transition season, which can offer opportunity, but also is kind of that 1 month that's usually a little bit softer as they head into March, April, and spring, summer goods.
Right. And I think we're still hearing and seeing that retail is still not that healthy, right?
It depends on where you look and who you look. I mean, if you kind of look at Forrester and ComScore and several things, and then the Census Bureau, looks at e-com and looks at the different sectors, which you got to kind of a little bit step back, take a grain of salt. But e-com was up 16% so to speak. Retail actually saw 3+% growth, which is great.
No, that's good.
Some of the large retailers. So I actually think overall it's very healthy. Mm-hmm. And, we're getting the Amazon thing. I think they just continue to take market share.
Right. Yeah, they just bought Ring, we saw.
Yes.
They show no signs. Deal. Yeah, they show no signs of slowing down or no hiccups, right? I mean, they just keep humming right along. They
do. They're trying to, continue to improve efficiencies. Obviously, the big, HQ2 question is out there. It looks, I don't know, everybody's got their speculation. 3 of the possibles are in the DC area, so that makes sense, especially as they kind of set where, if you think where they come from the government and where regulation is, maybe they want to be set there and positioned there. Also, Bezos just bought a huge house there, and he owns the Post. But the Ring acquisition is interesting because they kind of came out with their own Amazon key situation, which did okay, but the product wasn't great. So when the purchase of Ring is interesting in the fact that now they're doing what a lot of retailers becoming brands are doing, is they're trying to figure out how to take the vertical. So they want to get from factory. They're doing a lot of things behind the scenes on logistics and factory, and how do they actually get it into the home and get it into your door in a safe way, secure way.
Right.
That's a big deal. So the Ring acquisition is pretty interesting.
Right. And I think you saw, or we talked a couple of weeks ago, you got to go in and experience that Amazon store up there?
The Amazon Go store.
Yeah. What was that?
Finally.
Yeah.
That is creepy freaking cool. It is unbelievable. They're going to actually open in Los Angeles, I believe. They're going to open another one in Seattle. And then there's speculation around, I was just on campus quite a bit last week, was I wouldn't doubt seeing this come out in like a 20 to 25, 30 market thing over the next 6, 8, 9 months. I don't know.
It fast,
is so phenomenal. Talk about frictionless that you and I always talk about. It's insane. You walk out and you kind of feel weird. It's like, should I go back? Because
Are the bells going to go off? Yeah. Am I shoplifting or am I not shoplifting?
It is crazy. If anybody out there has an opportunity to go and try this, it's all open to the public now. You just have to get the Amazon Go app. It's a fascinating thing to do.
Cool. And what's going on up in the Pacific Northwest with some of your local guys? Like, I guess the big one is obviously REI. How are they trending?
They're doing okay. Again, their plan number versus what they actually did. So they had a good year in 2017. They didn't hit plan overall, but again, that's still in these days. If you look at large retail footprints, it was modest growth, single digit, but still that's a very strong growth.
Right.
I think they're doing well. They're trying to position themselves and they're staying steady on their own brand and building that out to many more kind of categories. And then on the local side, we up in the Northwest, we've been lucky. We've had some decent snow. And I think as we've seen the last few years, it's hard for our specialty retailers. Just talking to one the other day where this is tough. They're trying to still get rid of some winter goods and they still want to maximize those sales.
Right.
But at the same time, they kind of are ready to move on to their spring, summer. And right now it's like one day we have snow and it's great to go and you need cold weather goods. And then the next day you need, shorts and t-shirts.
Right. Yeah. Winters seem to be getting pushed. I don't know. It's all mixed up. We just got a big dump down here in Mammoth the other day, and spring seemed to be better than winter these days as far as precipitation.
Yeah, I think the specialty guys are trying to hold on as they always are, trying to sell as much stuff and have the right things, but then also, they can't wait for June to get here.
Right. Yeah. Any concerns popping up as we move into spring on the retail side? People struggling with new things, or it's the same old thing?
I haven't heard any specific things. I think it's back to, okay, if I have an e-com side of my business or digital operationally, how do I do that? How do I not, mess up a good thing what I have as far as specialty? Right. I think there is this kind of overarching cloud of more consolidation, and what does that mean for me? The retailers that are in more rural areas or don't have the metropolitan urban kind of competitor set, they're always just a little bit better because they just have such a special experience, their destination. So they're just trying to not be they're trying to be in the right thing. The biggest thing I think overall is this huge trend of, okay, private label. Do I, as a specialty retailer, if I have 2 or 3 doors, how do I do that?
Oh,
is that
interesting.
Smart?
Yeah.
Is that something that I can do on a very small scale way that I can add some margin value? So I think those are things that people are interested in. And then, of course, the, how do I catch that customer? And the one we talked, Path to Purchase. By the way, there's now a trade show called Path to Purchase in Chicago.
Really?
I just saw that. Yeah.
Wow. Should have trademarked that.
Should have. We should have. You should have, Rick.
Have to trademark frictionless when we hang up.
Frictionless.com.
Exactly. That's awesome. Is it a trade show about retail and how to get, how to manage your path to purchase?
It is. It's mostly on the e-com side. It's kind of driven out of the e-com, but it is the omni-channel. It is the, the new retail, whatever you want to call it. So I think it's based on that as marketers continue to, peel back all this data from 2017 and actually figure out what is going on and how do I get them.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, that's a good sign. That means more and more people are getting interested in it if there's a trade show about it, obviously. So.
Yeah.
Cool. Any other trends we should be on the lookout for as the year progresses? Anything you're hearing that might be coming down the pipe? Rumors?
Trends. It'll be interesting on the advertising from social. So Facebook is changing some things. Amazon is making just massive gains and huge plays from a manufacturer and branding side on how to utilize their platform and their reach. And so I think that's putting some strain on people as far as Google and Facebook. Again, specialty retailers continue to get a little bit better at the social stream. So Instagram, and then Snapchat actually is testing a buy button. That's the biggest thing is when are one of these guys going to leverage an actual buy button, where they can control that experience? So, you know, and for retailers out there, there's a lot of things going on the payment side as far as making sure that your mobile experience is seamless and frictionless. Back to that, so that if I want to buy something from your website, that I don't have to go and enter all this stuff and take all this time. You know, nobody's just got time anymore, Rick.
Yeah, it's amazing. Everybody's so swamped and so, I think, inundated with, you know, data, right? We're just getting peppered with texts and emails and Instagrams and just boom, 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 boom. You know, I don't know about you, but my saved folder on some of these websites has got, you know, you save and then you never get back to it.
That's true. So automation continues to be, how do I automate the low-level tasks? That seems to be everybody's mantra these days. And
so our panel at Outdoor Retailer was all about a lot of these, you know, the 5 tactics that these guys can use to improve their, you know, path to purchase and create a frictionless path to purchase. Is the technology for that growing and maybe coming down in price so it's easier, the barriers of entry are being, you know, reduced? They're not going to be eliminated, but because seems like that's one of the challenges a lot of these guys mentioned to us is, but how do I, you know, where do I get the money to buy software that does that kind of thing?
I think so. I think you're going to see more electronic labeling systems, not just your ability to change it like once a day or once a week or twice a week. I think you're going to see more and more cost-effective, low barriers of entry here to get into that, where you can have somewhat of dynamic pricing. If you're a specialty in an urban setting, or you have to compete with that, price is the laziest lever for all of us. But unfortunately, the United States, and I guess it's bleeding to the rest of the world, is, you know, we just want something on sale. We're addicted to the sale. So I think that's I think it will get less expensive for these people, because you have huge growth of Spotify and all these things, and they're integrating with now APIs. It's kind of like the old days when they talked about open source. It just makes it so much easier to kind of launch these massive big technologies and reduce the costs for small businesses and small people.
That's good.
So that they can actualize a lot of these things. I mean, on a grand scale, I think it's interesting. So Walmart's e-com, one of the biggest challenges they had at holiday was buy online, pick up in store. And they had differentiation on pricing when you bought online, because they're trying to do bundles and things. And then you go into the store and the customer's like, hey, it was a better deal online than it is here, or vice versa. So that's a big, large scale example of how hard it is to actually execute this stuff. Well,
once that gets all blended, then it'll be, you know, much simpler for the consumer, and that's ultimately what everybody's trying to get at, make it easy for them. So,
but back to what we talked about on the panel is, you know, if you get a customer in your door, be special. Make it an experience. You know, just do what you're supposed to do. Have the right product at the right time. Make it easy to get them. You know, kiss them, hug them, whatever. You know, do the things to make it feel that this is a specialty experience with people who know what they're talking about, can relatable experiences, and are going to guide you in the right way, where you're going to sit, when you have that decision again, you're going to go, you know what, I want to go back there. I really like them. They took care of me.
Exactly. No, that's great advice. That's ultimately what specialty retail is all about. So, well, Scott, thanks. I appreciate it. It's been good chatting with you again. And I'm sure we'll touch base again before the next OR. We have to figure out what we're going to do for our panel next OR.
We do.
Yeah, we'll get on
that.
Have
some think tank. Maybe we should have some think tank meetings in Bishop.
There you go. That's a good idea. And if anybody's listening and they have some ideas for us, don't hesitate to reach out to Scott or I on email and send us what you think you would like to see us do or see us tackle, and we'll go from there.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Thank you so much, Rick, for everything.
Thank you,
everything
man.
You're doing.
All right. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye. If you want more of The Waypoint,
You can subscribe on iTunes and Stitcher, or go to the OutdoorBizPodcast.com, where you find all the episodes, show notes, and much, much more. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at the Outdoor Biz Podcast, Twitter at Rick_Saez, that's S-A-E-Z, and by email at rick@theoutdoorbizpodcast.com. Thanks for listening and all the support. A huge shout out to all my guests, and until next time, make time to get outside.